Hi everyone. Now, before I actually went into a Toastmasters meeting, my impression of Toastmasters was that it was simply a speakers club. Somebody would come up on stage, do some speech, people will applaud, give some feedback, and people would just continue coming and doing speeches up on stage. I thought that was simply what Toastmasters was all about. Once I went into a Toastmasters club meeting, I was proven wrong. Good day, everyone. My name is Suranga Vijayaratne, and I'm here to talk about the core education program in Toastmasters International called Pathways. Now, when I sat down on the meeting, what I observed was before a Toastmaster up on stage and does a speech, another Toastmaster is invited, who is that speaker's evaluator, to present the objectives of this speaker. And these objectives range from introducing yourself, practicing vocal variety, body language, or something simple as being able to give feedback. And then there were objectives like the speaker will come up on stage and deliver a persuasive speech, or a speaker will come up on stage and deliver a social speech, a toast in an event. So the kind of complexities of these objectives were varied. And the origin of these objectives comes from the education program offered by Toastmasters International. And this education program itself is not ad hoc either. It is a very structured program where you start off with learning the fundamental skills of communication, and then from on top of that build different kind of skills, both in communication and in leadership. And it is done in such a way that it is introspective. That is, it would be individualized for every single person. While the structure or the framework is the same, it is individualized for every single person because it is based on your story and your experiences and where you want to be in the future. So this structured program is basically delivered within Toastmasters International through a program called Pathways, and each of these in Pathways we provide 6 different paths. So what are these paths? Well, basically what Toastmasters International offers is an ability for you to figure out what kind of skills that you want to upskill, either in communication or in leadership, and then allow you to follow a path that is suitable for you to gain those skills and practice them. Be an expert on those skills and then transfer that skills that you gained to your other aspects of your life, your work environment, your personal life, anywhere that it can be applied to. So what are these paths that Toastmasters International offers? Well, starting off, these are the 6 paths that are offered by Toastmasters International. Dynamic leadership, engaging humor, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, and visionary communication. So these are the 6 paths that are available within Toastmasters International. And all of these 6 paths covers the fundamentals of being a good speaker. But on top of that, it builds skill sets that are rather specific between each of these paths and will be dependent on what you like to upskill on. For example, if you are a person who find yourself always in situational leadership positions, scenarios where you have to take the lead or your team needs to be leading something, and you might have always felt that maybe I would like to upskill myself because I find myself in those kind of situations a lot. Dynamic leadership would provide you with that knowledge and skill set as you progress through the path of dynamic leadership. Now, if you are perhaps a person who is a good speaker, but you find it challenging to ease the tension of the audience, you're always seen as a very serious speaker, and you need to know how to figure out to be a bit more lighthearted speaker who can appropriately engage humor to an audience. Engage in humor could be the path that you want to take in order to get that knowledge and skill to practice within Pathways. So likewise, Pathways provides different set of skills in all of these paths. And you can always find out about the kind of projects and paths that are available by going to Toastmasters International site, looking at the education program, and looking at the Pathways projects overview. That will give you a lot of information about the projects that is available in Pathways. Now, each of these paths will have 5 levels. And all paths begins with the first level, which is gaining the fundamentals of public speaking. So it will be starting off with an icebreaker. Basically, you're talking about yourself, introducing yourself to the audience. But what this project does is it establishes what your current competence levels are. What are the good things that you have about speaking, or even if you're nervous, how much nervous you are, what can be overcome. This is a sort of a test that allows allows you yourself to figure out where your strengths are and where you need to improve upon. And when you complete level 1, you'll be set up to be in a baseline where you're much more comfortable communicating with people on a public space. And after level 1, it's all about learning specific or gaining specific knowledge and learning skills that are related to the path that you have chosen. So Pathways basically gives you this opportunity to slowly level up knowledge and skill set until you come to level 4 and 5, where you actually start demonstrating specific skills that you have gained from the lower levels in order to achieve whatever the objectives that are of the complete path. And that could be something like, demonstrating motivating a team, or demonstrating that you can engage humor in a speech effectively, or that you have the knowledge to organize and execute an event that is quite common between dynamic leadership, motivation strategies, and visionary communication. So these kind of skill sets are then developed and given you the opportunity to practice within Toastmasters. And you might be wondering, how does Toastmasters provide opportunities to practice leadership skills? Well, a couple of ways. It could be either taking leadership roles within Toastmasters, or it could be executing events like organizing and executing the club installation event. And sometimes you can be part of an organization team that is in the larger Toastmasters fraternity, because Toastmasters clubs are not isolated. We work with each other. So there are different ways that Toastmasters delivers, and these paths are, once you registered a path, how it is delivered is through a learning management system called Basecamp, which is accessible through the Toastmasters International website. So once you log in to the Toastmasters International website, which you will get credentials for once you are a Toastmasters International member, you will be able to go to Basecamp and browse through all the projects of the chosen path. And you'll be also able to track your progress with this path using this LMS. So I hope that this gives you an idea about the sort of education program that is available at Toastmasters International, and hope you have fun and be able to upskill yourself in both communication and leadership. Thank you.